From Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Connecticut, it's your one-stop shop for news, across the board.
Welcome to Across the Board, a news magazine show featuring all things Connecticut and beyond. I'm Sarah Carl.
And I'm Randy Brochu. We begin our show with a conflict 5,000 miles away that is affecting many Ukrainian Americans who now call Connecticut home. The Crimean Parliament recently declared independence from Ukraine and joined the Russian Federation in a treaty signing on March 18th. Our reporter, Tassi D'Angelo, went to the Ukrainian Museum and Library in Stamford to talk with members of their community about a conflict that is changing the course of their homeland's history.
Passionate about their homeland, a small Ukrainian American community in Stamford, Connecticut, is watching their country being torn apart thousands of miles away. In the calm of this museum, you can find a part of the history of Ukraine. And in the midst of a variety of pieces of art and notebooks, you also find Ukraine's biggest treasure, their people. Natalia Kirish, apprentice at the Ukrainian Museum and Library, is one of them, concerned about her relatives and friends back home.
Every day I see Ukrainian news because I'm worried about Ukraine. I worry about my relatives, my family, my friends. It is dangerous to stay in Ukraine right now, especially in eastern part of Ukraine.
Luba Wolinets, the curator, shares Natalia's desire to be free from outside interference.
Our hopes are that the Russians will leave us alone and let us be independent, which is we have been centuries ago. Then we were enslaved, then we were free, then we were enslaved.
Professor Lucian Orlowski from Sacred Heart University is an expert in Eastern European economics.
I'm very, very afraid of the Russian government rhetoric right now. It's very aggressive. They really want to take over the lands and the territories which are occupied mainly by the native Russians. Based on some reports, they are also the transporting Russians to these lands, more and more Russians, in order to increase probability of popular support in these territories.
The Reverend Monsignor John Terlecki shares a common feeling among Ukrainians, a fear of war.
My biggest fear is that if there is a Russian invasion on part of the land that we have war.
Any time, any day, it can begin the war. When I asked my sister husband, what you gonna do if they, for example, government asks you to go to the war? He told me, yes, I will go. I will go to defend Ukraine because, it's my duty.
We need to be independent without anyone telling us what to do. We want to live in a democratic way, in a fair way. And so let's hope for the best.
We pray every day, in the morning, in the evening, whole time, because we're afraid.
With both feelings of fear and hope, Natalia prays for peace and freedom in her homeland. This is Tassi D'Angelo from Stamford, Connecticut for Across the Board.
The Hudson River has faced many environmental challenges over the years, but there are those who fight to protect the river they love. Meet Captain John Lipscomb.
We have to find a way as a society to live next to the river, with the river, allowing it to live while we live.
Riverkeeper is a non-profit advocacy organization, a sort of environmental watchdog of the Hudson River. John Lipscomb is the captain of the Riverkeeper boat.
The core operation for me is that very simple, pure idea of eyes on the water. I want to be in a position to see if there's a problem, and I want to be seen looking.
Lipscomb grew up on the Hudson River, swimming in the river, playing at its shores, and learning to sail on it as a young boy.
Hudson was my boat school.
Now he works for Riverkeeper, where he tries to protect the water, which includes the vast ecosystems that live in it. It's his job, but he does it for love. He says he's not the kind of guy who could work just for the money.
I want the heart part. I want the love part.
Lipscomb doesn't just love his job, it has become his life work.
I also overdo everything, so I couldn't maintain a separation between job and the rest of life. That ends up being a problem for me.
For the past 13 years, he's run the Riverkeeper boat. 7 years ago, he instigated a program to test the water quality of the Hudson River. He works with a crew of scientists taking samples of river water. That means that during the spring, summer, and fall, he is out on the boat 12 days a month, running from New York Harbor to Albany and back, collecting samples and working with groups of scientists along the way.
I live on the boat during those patrols, and I am a master of the peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Lipscomb's dedication has paid off. In the 7 years since Riverkeeper has been gathering data from their water samples and releasing their findings to the public, there has been a widespread response from citizens as well as the state government.
The data does the talking. We actually have the state using our data as an argument to seek funding to improve sewage infrastructure. That's a measure of success.
There's been a change in understanding about the river, he says, even for him. When he started this job, he and the rest of the Riverkeeper staff referred to the river as a great natural resource.
You can't look at a living river and define it as a resource, because right then you've condemned it to death. You've decided that it's there for our use, and we're going to have to get to the point where we can share. The planet is not a big place, and we've been destroying it at a very rapid rate because we think it's infinite.
Coming up after the break, we'll bring it back home and take a look at the Bridgeport no one knows. We'll be right back.
We live in a digital age in which days have become minutes and competition is fierce. To successfully navigate the new media landscape, professionals should be trained in the latest technologies by established leaders from the media and communications industry. Hands-on experience and a real-world portfolio are vital to thrive as a 21st century communications professional. MACOM brings all of this and more together in one program, located on the Gold Coast of Connecticut, near the media capital of the world, and delivered through a flexible curriculum designed for today's graduate student. MACOM offers concentrations in 3 professional areas using the latest technologies and a hands-on curriculum. Corporate communications and public relations. Learn to plan, create, and distribute multimedia publicity for companies and nonprofits. Digital and multimedia journalism. Become a news crew and all-platform media producer in the post-print era. Digital and multimedia production. Gain advanced digital production skills for today's media and entertainment industries, including sports, advertising, television, and digital filmmaking. For a new generation of communications professionals, a program designed for the digital age and today's job market. Less talk and more do. MACOM at Sacred Heart University. For the future of communication.
Welcome back to Across the Board. Shootings, robberies, drug busts, and gang violence may be the most prevalent news stories that you hear from Bridgeport. But to some people's surprise, there are positive stories to tell about the city. Small businesses in Bridgeport are making a big impact, and Abisola Ariwula has the story.
As the largest metropolitan city in Connecticut, Bridgeport is too often only recognized for the negative aspects of urban life. However, like any urban city, vibrant and positive aspects are often overlooked. One positive aspect is the emergence of small businesses that are helping to shape and redefine the city life in Bridgeport. Stacy Bennett, founder of Lingua Genius, created a language tutoring center to improve communication among families and to help support the different languages spoken in Bridgeport.
I basically decided to start this business because I saw that there was a need. I wanted to provide a solution to that need.
Most businesses are born either from a need or a passion.
There are little pockets of diversity, diverse communities in the city. What I wanted to do was to create a cultural blend here at Lingua Genius.
Co-owner of Moe's Burger Joint, Kelvin Ayala, brings a very important element to an ever-growing Bridgeport neighborhood: good, authentic food.
What drew our eye to this specific location at Moe's Burger Joint was the opportunity to have a vibrant business in Bridgeport, in the city that we both grew up in and we love. So I think for us, it was a win-win. Here's an opportunity to buy a business that's downtown that we think we can do a lot of things with and use it as a platform.
And with that platform, the business owners are making a direct impact on the residents and in their community.
Every business at whatever level should give back and should contribute to making their community a better place.
I think it's important for people in the business community to see businesses that are viable.
The greatest impact I believe Lingua Genius has made on the city is the change that it has created in these kids, these children, especially those who have never been exposed to a foreign language before.
Carmen Nieves started Connecticut Photography Plus to document the people, places, and things in Bridgeport that many don't even realize exist.
And I can take a picture of someone, someplace, or something, and the person that I'm taking it for would say, oh my God, I remember what they smelled like, or what I did, or what they said. So it's just, it's amazing, and it's amazing to be able to be part of that.
And I'd like to think that our food is high quality and people want to like our food, they like our vibe, our ambiance, and it's a good place to come and eat.
We have seen students who are doing private tutoring, their grades have improved tremendously.
A great deal of the evolution taking place in Bridgeport is due to the fact that the streets are a lot safer and that the residents can actually feel it.
I've been here for 13 years, and Bridgeport, honestly, feels like home to me. You know, I feel very proud to be here, to live here, to work here. One of my philosophies is, you know, it's not what you're looking at, it's what you see. So if you see all the good that's in Bridgeport, you get empowered by that.
For Across the Board, Abisola Ariwola, Bridgeport.
There's so many exciting things happening in Connecticut right now. How about UConn Husky Fever? Randy, can you tell us more about that?
Well, nowhere is March Madness more mad than here in Connecticut. UConn made history again this year with both its men's and women's teams winning national championships in the same season. This is the second time the Huskies have claimed both titles, 10 years after they first did it. The 7th-seeded men made their improbable run to a 4th national championship, going through St. Joseph, Old Big East rival Villanova, Iowa State, Michigan State, Florida, and Kentucky. Along the way, Kevin Ollie won National Coach of the Year in just his second year on the job for his alma mater. Shabazz Napier etched his place in program history by leading the way as tournament MVP. And role players like DeAndre Daniels, Ryan Boatwright, and Niels Gaffai came together as a team that would be remembered forever from Storrs to Stanford.
And the women swept their way to a 9th national title as Gino Auriemma led the Huskies to their 5th perfect season, steamrolling their way through the tournament and taking down also undefeated Notre Dame in the title game. Stephanie Dolson, Bria Hartley, and Brianna Stewart joined the program's greats as All-Americans, and Connecticut can once again claim it is the mecca of college basketball.
Well, the UConn men now are amongst college basketball's all-time elite programs with their 4th national championship, but times were not always this good for the Huskies. It took the commitment of a star recruit from Bridgeport to lead Connecticut to its early glory days. Now, Chris Smith is back to where it all began, at Colby Cathedral High School, trying to do the same thing as the head coach of his high school alma mater. The Cardinal Sheehan Center in Bridgeport has long been a factory for great local basketball. However, no local legend has had more success in the game than Chris Smith. A star player at Colby Cathedral High School in the 1980s, Smith went on to help set the foundation for the rise to prominence of UConn basketball. He turned down bigger college basketball powerhouses to play in his home state, helping lead the Huskies to their first Big East championship and an Elite Eight run in the dream season of 1990, helping put the program on the map.
I'm from Connecticut. This is my family. This is my home. And my whole family's here. So for them to go out and see me play an hour away from where we all grew up, which is Bridgeport, was great for me. But it was something about Jim Calhoun and the Connecticut family that lured me into staying home. Staying home was very important for me, not only for my family and myself, but also for Colby Cathedral fans too.
Now, after a career that took him all the way to the NBA, Chris Smith has returned to the home that is so important to him, Bridgeport and the Sheehan Center, as the head coach for the program that led him to all that success, his alma mater, Colby Cathedral.
I was pretty much raised in this building here, and to come back to the Sheehan Center is very special to me because this is a place where I grew up, and this is where I honed my skills, and I can tell kids, look, this is where I played basketball, and I went all the way to the top, so there's no reason why you cannot dream and do the same thing.
Still UConn's all-time scoring leader, Smith brings experience, knowledge, and star power back to his neighborhood, earning him respect among the players who dream of going to the next level, like senior star Ian Gardner.
Playing with Coach Smith, he's a really good coach. He knows what he's doing. He went and it inspires me because he went here and he was in the same footsteps as me. He went to Kobe, played at UConn, went to the NBA. So I like the connections he has, and I felt like he was in my footsteps. So if he could do it, I could do the same thing as him.
You know, we have some great kids on our team. They're very educated. They love the game, and that's the great thing about coaching at Kobe. But sometimes you want to put the shorts on and get out there and do the things that you did a long time ago, and you got to realize that you can't do that. You know, you're coaching now, and trying to relay that speech over to the kids sometimes can be difficult. But it's a great challenge. It's a challenge that I accept, and it's a fun challenge.
Now, he always talks about his past, just that's to kind of motivate us to keep working and getting better, because we're not at that stage yet. So if we ever want to get there, he talks to us and guides us on the way to get there.
And the way Chris Smith got there was putting an importance in family, one he now is the head of for the players he is helping guide in the same positive path he went.
Family's a huge thing. You know, our theme is work hard and be nice. And we try to set that tone every day in practice and every day when you come into the school.
As a coach who understands his players in a way only someone who stood in their shoes could, the positive messages Chris Smith shares with players like Ian are clearly resonating.
I just want to play college basketball, that's it.
That makes me extremely proud. And one thing about Colby Cathedral, all the kids pretty much, we have a 90+ rate of all the kids that go to Kobe, they go to college, and that's very important to us because that's the standards that we want to set at Kobe Cathedral.
From March Madness to an exhibition of a more serious conflict in Northern Ireland, coming up after this.
I can't believe it's only been a year. I look back to some of my original projects and think, oh my gosh, if I could do those again, I know I would do them 1,000 times better.
The MACOM program at Sacred Heart, the hands-on approach was actually why I decided to enroll here. I hadn't gotten a lot of that in my undergrad and knew that that was really going to be something I was going to need to develop professionally.
Learning how to use things is so much more effective for my learning style than just being told about them and then having to apply them on your own. It's not only theory here, it's practice.
One of the highlights of the MACOM program is the internship portion.
The internships and mentorships being incorporated as actual courses benefits everybody in the program. At first you get introduced to the different ideas, and then you get your chance to get your feet wet.
You get to work with real professionals, and they treat you as professionals.
Seeing some of my classmates who are really good with the video portions, it made me say, you know, these are all things that I want to add to my portfolio.
This program is very strong in bringing students together in groups to accomplish tasks like the PSA.
One of the things that I've done in the MACOM program was enter in the Wine and Spirit Wholesalers of Connecticut's public service announcement contest.
Hey, check it out.
That was really exciting for me.
I got the cranberry and vodka.
To see all of the talent in Connecticut. And it was even more exciting that Sacred Heart actually won.
We ended up winning first place and technical excellence, which was awesome.
The media industry is trending towards people who can do more. The one person who can write their own script, shoot it, and edit it. coming to Maycom, you'll be able to learn how to do all those things.
I've learned to think visually, which is something that I didn't do before. And I know how to build a story. It's so much more than just getting the right shots. It's really thinking about a script beforehand, knowing what you want to ask someone that you're interviewing, knowing that you have to take 25 shots to get one that's great. And so I think that I found my role within those classes, and I really feel much more confident about going into the field of media with the skills that I've garnered here.
Welcome back to Across the Board. On a photography assignment in Northern Ireland, Polish photographer Mariusz Szmek was shocked to find an ongoing tension and violence despite a 1997 peace treaty. Frustrated by the lack of media coverage, he decided to show the world what he saw through his camera lens. Colleen Mason has the story.
Sacred Heart University has started an international initiative with its first major exhibition focusing on Northern Ireland. The exhibition was curated by Vision Project's president, Richard Falco.
What we decided at the university is that we were going to bring more international content to share not only with the students and faculty, but with the general public. We decided on Northern Ireland because of the established connection the university already has with Ireland. The exhibition allowed us to look at what was going on presently in Northern Ireland, and particularly in relationship to the peace process, to see where it had gone since the actual signing.
The goal of these exhibitions is to bring quality content to the university. The opening of the exhibition allowed students and the public to meet the photographer Mariusz Szmek. At the opening, Mr. Szmek made a brief statement about his experience and invited everyone to take their time with the exhibit.
The photographs are beautifully done, but in addition to that, provide us really insightful information as to what's going on in this situation.
The exhibition explores the complex situation that Northern Ireland finds itself in today. The Good Friday Peace Agreement of 1998 brought a great deal of hope to the residents of Northern Ireland. After 3 decades of violence and civil conflict, a great sigh of relief resonated throughout the islands of the United Kingdom and Ireland. However, the people of the province find themselves precariously perched atop an unsteady peace. Instability continues to plague the region, followed by repeated outbursts of riots and violence. Though sectarian conflict that affected the two communities of Protestants and Catholics has evolved, for many there is no lasting peace.
In addition to having a standing exhibition, one of the things we also think about is how to create public forums that actually discuss the topic at hand. We gathered a number of professors who were involved with the issue, could actually contribute greatly in terms of insights to form this public forum.
There's this place called an imaginative sphere where art can actually help reconcile differences.
Professor Marie Hume's presentation at the forum focused on the importance of the arts in addressing social issues.
I think one of the enduring effects of the Northern Irish Peace Accord is that people are being brought together.
I think the opportunity of the gallery also allows us to provide a showcase for just tremendous international and national talent. What we realize with this exhibition and all future ones that we hope to have here is the value that photojournalism contributes to the society.
In the future, the Sacred Heart community can expect to see more international content in the gallery. For Across the Board, this is Colleen Mason.
To more joyous celebrations of the Irish culture, they say everybody is Irish on St. Patrick's Day, which is why thousands of partiers come out every year to celebrate Irish heritage at parades throughout the state. It takes a great deal of planning to make these parades go off successfully, such as at this year's 24th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade in Milford, coordinated by Marty Hardiman. Julie Baumgard has more.
Milford, Connecticut puts on the second largest annual St. Patrick's Day parade in the state with the help of Marty Hardiman.
I had a friend of mine who is running the parade in the 6th year, because the parade this year is 24 years long, asked me to get involved.
I have 3 here.
Marty and his many assistants plan out the line of march, which is the order of the participants that will be in the parade.
Oh, and Bridgeport Bluefish is, they do not need a hold harness.
Phones are going nuts here. We've got a telephone brigade going on. The calls are incoming. It's pretty much a madhouse.
Marty spends hours the night before the parade making phone calls to those in the line of march.
Actually, if you want to start on the first sheet, we're already beyond the first sheet.
It is also his job to let participants know where they could park.
Hi, this is Linda calling from the Milford St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee. Calling to let you know.
Linda is another of Marty's assistants who is very proud of his hard work and success.
Done a great job. He pretty much a one-man band. He's a hard worker. He knows how to get it done.
This is not a city function. This is put together by a group of individuals who want to keep something like this going. It's an awesome honor. It really is. For a small town like this to put on the type and size of the parade that this state has seen.
The parade was a big success, and Marty's hard work made it a wonderful day.
Looks like everybody had a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize what it takes behind the scenes to put something like this together.
Well, and speaking of all that behind the scenes work, that does it for this show.
Thanks so much to the entire crew for putting this together, and thank you for joining us.
This show is produced as part of the Masters in Communication program at Sacred Heart University. On behalf of all of us, thanks for joining us across the board.